to have.
Yes, Master. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm doing a book review on that other book I got in the mail about a month or two ago. This one is called From a Certain Point of View, or rather Star Wars From a Certain Point of View. It retells the story of A New Hope through a whole bunch, specifically 40 different side characters. From Obi-Wan Kenobi to a Rebel fleet trooper on watch, to pilots that never made it to the Battle of Yavin, to sand people, Jawas, droids, the Dianoga even. I mean, it's as varied as it can possibly get. Some were funny, some were poignant, some were just plain heartbreaking, and there were a couple that left me sort of rolling my eyes. So, since there's 40 different stories, I'm just going to talk about the highlights, namely my favorite, least favorite, the saddest story, and the funniest story. So, my absolute favorite in this book has got to be Beru White Sun Lars. It's sort of a retrospective of Beru on what it was like raising Luke as a nephew, and who she was and how she was always there for him. It was very, very heartwarming, but very matter-of-fact also. And the really interesting part about it is it was apparently written by her somewhere in the netherworld after her death. And it ends with an admonition to drink the blue milk, and I absolutely love it. That's probably one I will flip to and read over again. My least favorite in here is probably Rights. It highlights the Sand People. It was written by the same guy, John Jackson Miller, who wrote Kenobi, and the Sand People, it's just, yeah, okay, primitive society I'm not really interested in. I'm sorry, but I'm not an archaeology major. I'm sure if I was interested in archaeology or anthropology or anything like that, I would probably think it was interesting, but honestly, it was kind of boring, and that was one of the stories I got so bored with it, I started falling asleep. The saddest story in this one, that's a toss-up. The first one I'm going to mention is Eclipse. That is basically Brea Organa, that's Leia's adoptive mother. Her last moments with her husband Bail on the planet Alderaan just before it gets blown up. I mean, oh, that is so dang sad. I mean, seeing the perspective of the woman who raised Leia and her worry about her husband and her daughter, and it's just so, I mean, the biggest comfort in there is that they were together when the end came, but still, I was like, I wanted to cry. Another really, really sad story in here I have to mention was by Will Wheaton. It's called Lena. It's the story of a father who's recording a message for his daughter who's being sent away for safety, but the planet she gets sent to is Alderaan. So this little tiny girl, barely 2 years old, you know that she doesn't make it out because she's sent to Alderaan. It's like, ironically, to keep her safe. That is the most heartbreaking thing I have ever read. It's like, that one, I almost couldn't see the page because I had so many tears from that one. That was seriously sad. And so I'm going to end this on a light note. The funniest story in this book was The Sith of Data Work. It was basically about this technical crew aboard either the Star Destroyer or the Death Star, I'm not really sure which one, but it was the guy who didn't fire on the escape pod that held the droids because there were no life forms, and it's like, oh no, how am I going to get out of this one? And so this lady was coaching him through all these different lines of essentially paperwork that he had to put through in order just to pass the buck to somebody else so he wouldn't get choked by Darth Vader. And anybody who's filled out a whole bunch of technical paperwork will appreciate this. I really haven't, but I hate paperwork. I think everybody hates paperwork, especially when it's a stack about that thick, one form to another, and it's like, But that was so funny. I absolutely loved it. So an overall rating for this book, there are certain stories in there I will read again, although the entire book, it's okay. But I do have some favorites that I'm going to come back to, so that makes it worth it. So I give this book an overall rating of 3.5 out of 5. So there you go, guys. Again, whoever sent me the books, I don't remember her name. I'm sorry. But to the person who sent me the books, thank you again. I really enjoyed them. But that's all for today. Ooh, and my backdrop's gonna fall on me. That's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and you want to see more like them, go ahead and click that little subscription button down below. Question of the day: which Star Wars book should I review next? Go ahead and post a comment below. Again, whatever gets posted, especially if it's something from the old expanded universe, no guarantees when I can get to it. The local library has like 2 Star Wars books, and both of them I've read, and the bookmobile only has 1 Star Wars book, which is Tarkin, and I tried reading that and sort of fell asleep. So, any suggestions, please post a comment below, and I will get a hold of the book whenever I can, read it, and give you a review. So until next time, this is the Clumsy Jedi signing off. Bye, guys!